Have you ever heard of Athena, the goddess of strategic warfare? Often, war is portrayed as a scene of chaos and destruction, but Athena represents a different vision. She embodies the idea that, even in the most intense conflicts, there can be justice and wisdom. Now, here's an intriguing question. How can a goddess of war also be the voice of reason? The answer lies in her origin and her connection to the concept of just war. And what if I told you that, to win life's greatest battles, perhaps what you need is not brute strength, but the intelligence to choose your moments? It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Athena's story will show you how she became a symbol of this idea. An idea that, by the way, can be applied not only in times of war but in your everyday decisions. Gaia's prophecy, which foretells Zeus' downfall by his own son, casts an unsettling shadow over the king of the gods. Imagine being in Zeus' place, accustomed to being the most powerful, and suddenly hearing that your own offspring could dethrone you. It reminds us how mythology often reflects human fears and insecurities. How many times do people feel threatened by the future they themselves will bring about? In moments like this, wisdom to prepare is crucial, and Zeus knew that swift action was needed. What do you do when the future seems uncertain and a threat seems unexpected? Zeus, like many leaders before and after him, realized that ignoring the prophecy was not an option. Taking control of the situation seemed like the only path, even if it was something unusual. So, he began to devise his plans. In real life, when we feel something might throw us off balance, the first step is to evaluate all options. If there's one thing to learn from Zeus, it's the need to act before a threat materializes. Now, a prophecy has special power in mythology. It shapes the actions of those who hear it. Zeus, to avoid his fate, didn't hesitate to use Métis, his consort, as part of his plan. This leads us to the question, how far should we go to avoid an unwanted destiny? In Zeus' case, he decided to take extreme measures, but little did he know that his efforts were merely setting the stage for something much bigger. Zeus, aware of Métis' power and intelligence, knew she wouldn't easily surrender. He needed to be cunning. So, he suggested a game of transformation, challenging her to morph into smaller creatures. This strategy seems so simple yet is full of cunning. It's like that moment when, to win an argument or solve a problem, one must use the element of surprise. Métis, confident, accepted the challenge without suspecting Zeus' hidden intentions. With each transformation, Métis shrank in size until, in a form as tiny as a mosquito, she was easily swallowed by Zeus. This maneuver shows how even the most adaptable minds can be deceived when they underestimate the cleverness of others. In life, how many times do we underestimate someone or a situation, only to find ourselves at a disadvantage later? Zeus, with this action, not only protected himself from the prophecy but also learned that sometimes winning requires an extraordinary dose of ingenuity. And here's the intriguing detail. By devouring Métis, Zeus not only rid himself of a threat, but also absorbed her wisdom. The interesting thing is how this deception ended up bringing something positive, even in the midst of such a treacherous plot. It reminds us that, in certain situations, what seems like a loss or a negative action can, in fact, be an opportunity for something greater to arise. After devouring Métis, Zeus believed he had escaped the prophecy, but the story was far from over. Sometime later, he began to feel an unbearable headache, something that even the gods could not ignore. This pain, however, wasn't a mere passing ache. It was the prelude to the birth of Athena. Suddenly, fully armored and ready for battle, Athena emerged from Zeus' head, making it clear that she was no ordinary goddess. This peculiar birth marks one of the most intriguing moments in mythology, where wisdom and strength unite in a single figure. Athena wasn't just born ready for war. She also carried with her the legacy of her mother, Métis, inheriting her cunning and wisdom. It's interesting to see how mythology often shows that even calculated actions, like Zeus, can lead to unexpected consequences. Often, in life, even when we think we have everything under control, something extraordinary can emerge from the most painful and difficult moments. Athena is the perfect example of how something powerful can arise from the most adverse situations. And what's most fascinating is that, even though she was born amid pain and chaos, Athena became one of the most revered deities, both for her wisdom and her strategic skill. Her birth, already shrouded in mystery, set the stage for a journey of great deeds, making it clear that her presence on Olympus would bring a new era of justice and strategy. And this shift in the balance of power was only beginning, leading to Athena's rise as a new reference in the art of war. Ares, the god of brutal and bloody warfare, had always been known for his impulsive approach to conflicts. But with Athena's birth, things started to change. While Ares led through force and destruction, Athena represented a new perspective: strategic, calculated warfare where victory was achieved through wisdom. Her approach began to gain prominence, making her the favorite goddess of warriors who valued planning over mere brute strength. This makes us reflect on how, throughout history, intelligence has often triumphed over unchecked force. On the battlefield, Athena offered something Ares never could: a clear, tactical vision where victory was built with patience and foresight. For real-life strategists, this is so familiar, isn't it? It's not enough to just throw yourself into a situation with all your energy. You need a plan, to understand the terrain, and to know where each move takes you forward. Rather than acting impulsively, Athena showed that thinking before acting not only ensured victory, but also preserved what mattered most. And so, over time, Athena claimed the place Ares always dreamed of: the respect of the most skilled warriors. Her strategic approach made her the favorite goddess of many armies. And this raises an interesting question. In life, is it better to be Ares or Athena? What's more valuable, fighting without thinking about the consequences or acting with cunning? The answer seems clear, especially when we look at the great leaders of history. Athena was just beginning her rise as the goddess of just warfare. Despite being devoured by Zeus, Métis did not completely disappear. In fact, she resides within Zeus, offering her wisdom and advising him in critical moments. This curious detail of Greek mythology makes us reflect on how, even when we are subdued or placed in unexpected situations, our essence can continue to influence the events around us. Métis, with her leadership and intelligence, became an eternal conscience, a silent force within Zeus, always ready to guide him. This loyalty of Métis demonstrates the power of wisdom, even in adverse situations. In life, we are sometimes presented with difficult situations, but can we still find ways to contribute or specifically influence our environment? Métis did not give up, even after being swallowed by Zeus. She found a way to continue exerting her influence, showing that true power often lies in persistence. It's like a strong idea that, once planted, never fully disappears, continuing to shape the world around it. Even trapped inside Zeus, Métis was crucial to many decisions he made as the leader of the gods. She may no longer have been physically present, but her presence was felt in every piece of advice, in every strategy. This reminds us that true wisdom doesn't need to be seen or directly acknowledged to be powerful. Sometimes the most relevant advice comes from the least expected places, and Métis, even in her hidden form, occasionally acted as a fundamental force in Zeus' story and in mythology. Now that you know the story of Athena and her connection to just warfare, how about applying this knowledge to your own life? Instead of acting impulsively, stop and think. How can you be more strategic in your decisions? Whether in your relationships, at work, or in personal challenges, Athena's wisdom teaches us that victory comes not just through strength, but through well-thought-out strategy. Have you ever stopped to think about how this could change the way you approach everyday problems? And if this knowledge has made you reflect, don't miss the chance to learn even more. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue diving into stories that can transform your worldview. What are you waiting for? Let's explore the secrets of mythology together and see how they can impact your life.